Now, ladies and gentlemen, this past weekend and yesterday in particular, Wedson Nyirenda was on duty as Chipolo Polo gaffer for the 11th time. The 11th time, lucky. Lucky indeed. Or was it a bullish performance by the Chipolo Polo? 4-0 it finished in favor of Zambia against Swaziland. And you could just tell from the headline, the Zambia national team, classy, 1 foot into the championship. Or is it the next round? We should hold our breath for either South Africa or Botswana.
There's a game before we say we are through to Kenya. There's a game against either Bafana or Botswana. Though Bafana won 2-0 against Botswana, I think it's definitely we are meeting Bafana. We can't start celebrating now.
Yeah. Is the champagne ready for consumption, Coach Janza?
No, not as yet, Zite. We still have more time to work on our team and see if for real we can pop the champagne before we even start playing. But looking at what he's doing now, I think he's trying to correct some mistakes which are there with our team.
Okay, so that was the 11th assignment that Wedson Nyirenda had. Let's just take stock of what he's been able to do in the 11 outings that he's been in charge, compared to, of course, his predecessors, George Lwandamina and Janza. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's have a look at this. For Wedson Nyirenda, 5 wins, 2 draws, 4 losses, goal scored 15. He's conceded actually 13. He's conceded 12 rather, and he's got a goal difference of +3. For Janza, he won 3 in the first 11 assignments, drew 5, losses 3, scored 9, conceded 7 with the GD of +2. For Lwandamina, in his first 11 assignments, he won 6, drew 3, lost 2, scored 15, conceded 9 with a GD of +9. So in terms of goal difference, George Lwandamina with the prettiest of statistics there. But if we look at those statistics a little bit deeper, in the Janza reign, the first 11 games, he kept 6 clean sheets, and he actually kept, for Chicken Lwandamina, he actually kept 4 and 4 for Wedson Nyirenda. The breakdown of games that actually these gaffers had to deal with in their first 11 assignments. For Wedson Nyirenda, 4 of the games out of 11 were friendly matches, and you look at 3 matches in COSAFA, and from the COSAFA perspective, we actually won 2 and actually lost 1 in the final against the Brave Warriors of Zimbabwe. Then World Cup qualifiers, he's played 2 as well. He's drawn 1 against the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon, and he's lost 1 against Nigeria. In the AFCON qualifier, he's actually played Mozambique and lost that one 1-0, and in the CHAN qualifiers, he's actually won 1. Now, for Lwandamina now, look at the breakdown. 2 wins in the World Cup qualifiers, 2 wins in the Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers, and 1 draw, and some wins in the CHAN Championship. And we saw the team qualifying for the CHAN Championship, but failing to qualify for the Africa Cup of Nations in the Lwandamina era. But for Janza, look at this. 3 wins. Those 3 wins were from a backdrop of actually his opening game as Zambia coach. He actually picked up a point at the Lwandamina Stadium when we drew against Mozambique, and went on to win 3 group matches and drew 2, lost 1, and yes, the rest is history. We went to the Africa Cup of Nations under Janza. So interesting numbers there. And we know what the debate has been over the weekend, over the last couple of days. How do you look at those statistics, Arthur?
These statistics are so interesting. One thing that we are, as Zambians, we are failing to understand is, from the time we won the AFCON, we've never had a team. that team which won the AFCON, I'm telling you, it was started like to be built like 2004 when we hosted the first COSAFA in Zambia at Woodland Stadium under the tutelage of Karusha Wadia. That's when we could see the Enfield Calabas of this world, the Collins Mbesmas being introduced to the national team. It's the same team which went all the way 2006. Did we qualify to the AFCON 2006?
Yes, we did.
Yes,
We're back.
did.
We missed 04. We're back at 6.
We qualified 2006. That same team which was being built by Karusha Wadia. 2008 we went to Ghana. Under
2010 quarterfinal.
Was it under Patrick Piri? 2010 quarterfinal. It was the first time we pulled out of the group after a very, very long time. And 2012 we won the AFCON. You look at these guys. They were together from 2004 up to 2012. You look at the average age at that team which won the AFCON in 2012, 29. 2013 again we went to the AFCON. We didn't win any game. I think it got into our age like before the 2013 AFCON that we've got a team we are capable of returning the cup. No, but again after the 2012 Africa Cup, it's where we went to sleep. We haven't had a team. Now, at this moment in time, us Zambians, we are failing to understand our game. We look at where we've been coming from. We don't look where we came from before 2012. After 2012, most of the guys had come of age now to play for the national team. We forgot about building a team. We didn't add like the strong under 17, under 20, under 23 to take over. No wonder we've been like using the same players. We've been patching up the same team which won the AFCON, of which when you try to build a team, it doesn't work out like that. You start building from the under 17s, under 20, under 23, so that when time is right for this under 20, under 17s to take over the under 20, the under 20 to take over the under 23, and then those from the under 23 and the under 20s inclusive, they take over the senior national side. That we haven't done. That is the work that has made us to reach this far. Okay. No wonder when you are building a team, it's not easy to get wins.
Okay, let's now just discuss the devil in the detail. Look at the average players or the key players during the Janza reign. You have players like Bruce Msakanya, you have the likes of Benedict Chepeshi, Boyd Mkandawire, you have Sate, Spencer Sautu, Lubambo Msonda. Those were the key players in the Lwandamina era. Yes, that as well. But you also had some experienced cogs coming in, like Christopher Katongo. Of course, he came back. We had some call-ups for the likes of Emmanuel Mayuka, but you had the likes of Paul Katema in there as well. And when we go up here, the new faces are the likes of Boston Mchindu, maybe Manuel Banda will be looked at, and some of the classy players from the under 20 Vespa. What can we learn from the three pedigrees that we've seen in the last three installments of different gaffers coaching the national team?
Yes, Zite. Of course, football, if you look at football in Zambia this time, yes, people have brought in politics. Yes, you could see even people who can talk from the terraces can be near you and you will tell you to change your lineup and say maybe this one we want him, we don't want him. But looking at the way we came on with Janza he came with a good system of coming up with young players, which at this time I think we could have been talking about something else. Yes, we brought in a chicken, not knowing how Janza left his seat there. Lwandamina came in with his own system as well, with his players. He also came in with old and younger players, which I think sometimes it's difficult for young players who have been playing to the national team for a longer period. Then you at least you still go back to the old, bring them in. You tire the young ones, because most of the times they are the ones doing the donkey works. And the elders are just sending you to go and mark, go and do this, but they are not even getting goals. We've seen a change with Wedson. Wedson also, he has come with his own system. But in future, Zite, what I want to say is maybe if we can be sitting down with these, if we say they are good coaches, why can't we put them together so that they work as a team? If it's Lwandamina and the Wedson and Janza, put them, then they come with a good team to take us to the World Cup. And
Is it fair? Is it fair for people to be highly critical of Wedson Nyirenda based on his CV in the first 11 games? Played one Chan match, he's won it. One AFCON game, he's lost. 2 World Cup qualifiers, he's lost 1 and drawn 1. He's gotten 2 wins from COSAFA. He's gotten a further 3 wins from friendly matches. And yes, he's lost 1 game in COSAFA. Is it fair? Is it fair based on these numbers for people to be panicking and saying, hey, this is the national team?
You know what has brought confusion in this country about our football is the performance of the under-20. From that time, the under-20s won the AFCON, went to the World Cup, performed marvelously. Now, it came to the national team. We remember before we even played against Mozambique, people were against our archipelago. They even started calling them Northern Rhodesia, of which it demoralized the guys. I talked to one of my friends, I'm not mentioning names. He was like, after all, you see how much we've done for this country in terms of football. Now look at how people, how bad people are talking.
But how can that be confusion? I thought it was supposed to be a good thing.
It's supposed to be a good thing. My point is that it's not easy to win matches when you are building a team. What you need to expect is you won't win most matches. You won't.
So based on the 3 local coaches we've had back to back, Janza took us to the Africa Cup of Nations, and he was even unbeaten at the Africa Cup. 2 draws and 1 loss against Tunisia. He was unbeaten, and in fact, that unbeaten in 2015 was also unbeaten in 2013, even though we didn't make it out of the group. And for George Lwandamina, qualified the team for the Chan Championship, but didn't make it for the Africa Cup of Nations. For Wedson Nyirenda, he's got Chan, he's got Africa Cup, he's got World Cup. COSAFA is out of the picture. So, what would be a fair way to look at this thing? And are people justified or not justified to begin to worry about these numbers?
Of course, people, when they are talking Zite, especially on the Wedson, they will also want to see his many results. Which game did they win that people can be smiling at? Because if you talk about these other friendly games and the COSAFA, those games is maybe to allow you to see which players maybe can fit in the main national team when it comes to World Cup, when maybe Africa Cup qualifiers, because those are the main serious cups people are waiting for.
Okay, now talking about friendly matches, of course, the 3 gaffers in the first 11 assignments, Wedson Nyirenda's had 4 friendly matches compared to 2 for Honor Janza and 2 for George Lwandamina.